Welcome to the LawyerFair.co.uk daily podcast. LawyerFair helps businesses find the right lawyer at the fairest price. But on this podcast, we just chew the fat with some great guests.
It's Andrew Weaver here, the CEO at LawyerFair.co.uk. I am sitting in a splendid conference centre called, or at 15 Hatfields, very close to Waterloo Station. And LawyerFair is about to participate in the Pitch Bootcamp. We have made it to the final 100. We are alongside, actually there's 49 businesses alongside us today. There was a previous boot camp in Manchester, and we're kind of scrapping it out, but in a collaborative way to make the final 30. But it's going to be a day full of really interesting speeches, pitches, presentations from some great entrepreneurs, some of whom we're going to chat with. So we look forward to sharing the day with you. Hi, yes, it is. I've got Liv Siboney with me. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, thank you. Now, Liv is are you the founder of Grub Club?
I am. I'm the co-founder.
Co-founder, and Liv is with me and sharing a day at the Pitch Bootcamp, which is terribly good fun. But give us a quick background to the business.
So Grub Club is a marketplace for dining experiences. So we'll connect chefs with underused spaces, such as cafes that close in the evening or disused underground carriages, clock towers. We'll enable them to host their temporary restaurant for the night, and then we'll showcase those dinners on our site and sell the tickets to diners who are just looking for something a little bit different to the usual high street dining experience.
Cool. Well, listen, Liv and I were guinea pigs in the presentation workshop, so we kind of know what each other's does. And pop-up was a word that we were discussing about whether you use it or not.
Yeah.
But I think that's basically what it is, isn't it? That you're advertising these pop-ups.
Absolutely, exactly. So They are essentially pop-ups in the sense that they're temporary restaurants. They're even more temporary than a pop-up in the sense that they might be sort of one night only.
Wow,
but
really?
The big difference is that there's a communal element to it. It's sort of in a secret place that you can only find if you book.
So this is for super cool people who like to find out about things before everybody else. And if they're only there for one night, you've got to be quick on this, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
How many one-nighters do you get on the platform?
So they're all one-nighters, but the chefs are regular. So the chefs will each do sort of a number of different dinners in different spaces or different themes, but we actually have a strong repeat usage of the chefs themselves.
Great. Well, I'm signing up, by the way, so you've got one extra person. So what have you thought of the pitch so far?
Yeah, it's been really interesting, actually. Yeah. In fact, I thought it was particularly interesting to do the practice pitch, which I thought is great, because actually doing that public speaking under pressure with a specific time pressure on it is an incredibly useful exercise, which we don't often get to do. So
agreed. Some great sessions going on here, but I have to say Annette Kramer, for me, the presentation lady, was awesome. And I'm just rewriting my pitch, by the way, in the background. So you did a great job for me. Listen, Liz, thank you so much. And it's grubclub.com?
It is grubclub.com.
That's the website. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers.
Thanks.
So we are in a small room at the pitch, just short of Waterloo Station. I'm with Oliver from Bib Shop. Welcome, Oliver.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm holding a rather large podcast mic here. It's a slightly unfortunate phallic symbol, but anyway, Oliver is with you in the Pitch 100. What's your experience so far?
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable. Information overload, a lot of good information to take away. So I think it's going to take a couple of days to reassess and understand all the stuff that I've learned today and use it going forward. Great.
Well, we're going to have a quick chat about Bib Shop, but we're actually about 5 minutes away from the main part of the day, which is the pitch itself. So Oliver's very kindly slipped out. I imagine, like me, you're kind of running through the script at the moment.
Yeah, there's lots at the moment.
So I don't want to distract you for too long, but just a quick bit of background about Bib Shop. What do you do?
Okay, so we are an event photography marketplace. So we connect athletes and spectators for event photography. So spectators line the course at events like marathons. They upload their photos that they take of the athletes to the app. Athletes can then search for their photos and purchase it directly from the spectator.
And as we've been just discussing, the key benefits of the savings on it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So currently the photography from our competition are kind of between £20 and even £70 per photo. We're allowing the spectators to set their own price, but through our testing it's normally around £4 or £5 per photo.
Okay, cool. And we are, in fact, I think I'm ahead of you in the pitching, so me who should be more nervous, we are 5 minutes away from the pitch. Oliver, good luck, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. So we are now well into the day at the Pitch 100, and I have just done, on behalf of LawyerFair, my presentation, my pitch, beautifully trained, and I have to say I was looking at it almost throughout the presentation because I was so impressed by what she drilled into me, by Annette Kramer. Welcome, Annette.
Thank you very much.
Now, Annette, tell us a little bit more about what you do, because it's been hugely successful as far as I'm concerned, but tell the world.
Well, world, what I tend to do is help people of all different size businesses start conversations that listeners want to continue. And the reason that I think about pitching or any kind of communication event this way is that if you have the last word, you lose. Business is never done in the same room that you have your first conversation. So the exercise really in business is to keep that conversation going. Start a conversation listeners want to continue, and then continue that conversation until you get it whatever it is that you want.
Well, listen, this woman is not soft or gentle, so don't go into seeing Annette thinking you're going to get away with it. She doesn't worry about sensibilities, but that's exactly what you need, because the truth, isn't it? I mean, I've done a number of presentations, but there is always something to learn. And so I recommend anybody who comes across Annette or the pitch to follow it up. How do they get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me through my website, which is www.annettekramer.co.uk.
We shall include that in the notes, so if anybody misses that.
I will also have a pitching online class that includes almost everything we did today, with bad and good examples, all downloadable at
Am I in the good examples or the bad examples?
You're not in any examples.
Thank you. Just edit those out.
All of the examples in the online class were taken from mashups of people who gave me permission to mash up their pitches as good and bad examples of practice. And that's www.pitchyourbusiness.com with hyphens in there somewhere. And so that's how you get in touch with me.
Well, we've stolen into someone else's room, Annette, so we're going to have to cut this off. Are you enjoying your day?
I am so much enjoying my day, and I'm so proud of you for...
you say the sweetest things.
No, but it's true. I'm not... Listen, of all people, you should know I don't say things gratuitously.
That's true.
I don't flatter. And you did a terrific job and learned very quickly, and I'm very impressed with how everybody's doing today.
Well, it's been a great day, and you've been part of that, Annette. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So, it is 5 o'clock, Thursday the 22nd of October. We are slightly exhausted after an exhilarating and fun day at the Pitch 100, and I'm keeping this fine man next to me from his beer. He's also very privileged to be you're the first person, actually, who's ever done 2 appearances on the LawyerFair daily podcast.
Wow.
Ewan Sang, welcome.
Hello, and thank you for having me again.
Not at all. Now, Ewan has been moderating, controlling, looking after all of us through the pitch. Just finished. What's your thoughts?
It's been so much fun. I personally love doing these days because when you're running the team that I run, looking after the P&Ls, doing the strategy stuff, it's great. I love it. But it's a chance to come out and meet the entrepreneurs, press the flesh, so to speak, and get to see them, in the real world. It's incredibly inspiring. It's a great day.
It's a great way you control it beautifully. And I have to say, if anybody is considering or thinking about the pitch in the future, I mean, my experience of it has been extremely positive. Alongside the various workshops that you run, the people that are here are fantastic, and the products and the energy in that room was extraordinary.
It was so much fun. It's really odd actually, because with some of the days that I've been to in terms of training days or educational days and things like this, I often find that you almost get as much, if not more, value from the people that are there than simply the material which is being delivered. With these workshops that we run at the boot camp, they're 45 minutes long. You're never going to go deep into a particular theory or subject or topic or anything like that. Certainly not enough to take away just off that base material alone. So I think a huge amount of value is indeed, the connections that you make, the hands that you shake, and the people that you get to meet through something like that.
Absolutely. Now let me tell you, we're not here to drum up business, although obviously it's part of the brand awareness, all that stuff. So I'm sitting in the audience during our second session, just to keep people informed. There are essentially 50 businesses here, 2 sessions of 25. So we're in the second session of 25 pitches, and an entrepreneur climbs onto the stage, and I got an email from my colleague in the office. That particular entrepreneur had just sent a request into LawyerFair.
Oh, wow.
Based on the presentation I'd done about 20 minutes early.
Tremendous.
So there we go. There's a reason to have a very large beer and a large hurrah. So that's fantastic. And what's the process from here, Ian? There's a final in Bristol.
There is indeed, yeah. It's on the 12th of November. I do hope that's the right date. And it's down at the Paintworks. The 50 from London and the 50 from Manchester.
Paintworks in Bristol.
In Bristol,
Sorry, I did say that.
Apologies,
yeah.
We will be shortlisting the 100 down to the final 30.
Right.
They will be pitching at the final to our panel of judges. And then we announce 2015 champion late in the day.
Great. Well, the beauty about doing a podcast is that no one who's listening can see the brown paper bag that I just quietly slipped in your direction. But listen, it's been a great day, and let's go and enjoy a beer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Ewan. Thanks for organising.
No worries.
Well, we are again in another small room at the Pitch 100 with another couple of guests, my fellow pitchers, Upkar Pardesi. Is it Pardesi? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Hamil. I'm so sorry, Chance. Your cards are in front of me and I still got it wrong. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Father and son business. In fact, there's another son and a brother involved.
Sons.
My Ed. What's it been like for you, the pitch?
Oh, it's been quite an interesting day, quite a long day,
Yeah.
but it's been really useful to be with people, like-minded people who are actually on the same journey, and to it actually reassures you that you're not on your own, struggling and trying to do the right thing, because we learn as we go along.
Yes.
So it's been a really good experience, and I think the most useful part of the day has been the rehearsal for the pitch and the pitch itself. And to actually listen to about 50 very diverse business ideas and how much energy there was in the room and how much UK enterprise is up live and kicking.
Absolutely, and you were one of the last ones, so you had to hang on there till the very end.
Yeah, so right at the end,
Yeah.
I'm really jaded,
I could see the notes were curled up.
I was going to try to chuck them away.
Yeah.
3 hours sleep and a 4-hour drive and
Oh, gosh,
all of
yeah,
that sort of stuff.
yeah.
But no, it's been really useful, and
Well,
we're glad, and I'm just looking forward to getting shortlisted for the next bit.
Well, fingers crossed. Now, tell us a bit about the business, MyEd. Well, what's it doing? What's the ambition of it?
So we launched MyEd in March, and it's an aggregated website. So following on from the trends that Google and Facebook have set, where they aggregate services and information and people, MyEd aggregates education services. So we serve parents and students, and we help them make well-informed decisions to find the best nurseries, schools, colleges, and university courses. And we do this by pulling together lots of different information from multitudes of services and agencies and data houses, and we put it together, make sure it's really useful information, make sure that it's really user-friendly in the way that they can digest it, and present it in a way so that they can come to one place and find all of the information they need to make these really important decisions. We also have an advice centre with advice articles that we've written to help people along the journey. And finally, we have a review service. So we, unlike the traditional reviews for TripAdvisor, etc., you can't treat education in the same way. And what we do is kind of gather people's perceptions, insights through the touch points throughout their education journey in choosing these institutions that they've gone to, and then use that information to guide future parents and future students to make really informed decisions. So what we're trying to do really is empower parents and students to make these decisions and to really contribute to making people have the best choices in their education to shape their lives, their future, and the decisions that they make.
So it's to me. I mean, I've just entered into your target customer market actually because I've got a young daughter. Mm-hmm. So it's really to save us having to go through the Ofsted report and the local, all the different pieces of that information that you collect is going to be on your platform.
And present it.
Okay. And where are you at the moment? It's localised at the moment, isn't it?
That's right. So we're focused. We've got over 30,000 institutions listed just in the UK, and we're adding Scottish, Northern Ireland, and Welsh institutions. We're also working on adding over 50,000 undergraduate, postgraduate courses, and with a similar treatment. Those are students that have done those courses will be able to provide their insights, and this information will be really digestible. So talking about would you recommend this course, or for nurseries, for example, do you agree with this Ofsted rating? And which is really powerful information which some other institutions can't do. The government can't really give you that if the parent insight. So we're in a unique situation where socially we're kind of very ethical in what we're trying to do, but commercially, we are a business. We are trying to generate some income, and we do have an ambition to reach wider than just the UK. We want to perfect this model here, bring in other countries' data and kind of work around the world slowly and eventually. So it's a big, ambitious plan.
It is.
And we will get there, yeah.
Now listen, the crunch question that I've been meaning to ask both of you since I met you earlier today, having worked with my father, how's it going?
I'm really lucky.
Yeah, good.
We can kind of be very open with each other and not get too upset.
Yeah, good. You can't be too sensitive in these days, can you?
No, you can't. Yeah. And I think I've always had a good bond with my dad. So when we're at work, it's just it's good fun.
Yeah.
And I think we've learned to just be very open with each other. I don't think and I'm not the kind of person that's
Not a yes
just
man.
a yes sir and just would agree. Because
Is he difficult? Is that what you're saying? He's always been difficult. Well, listen,
I can be also fixed in some of my
Yeah, well,
ideas.
that's
It's challenging, no doubt.
Absolutely.
I think.
Well, no business goes without some form of,
You know what? I
conflict. or-
think bottom line is who could you trust more?
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're doing something
Yeah,
like this, you need that loyalty and trust, and I think that is really a blessing.
Yeah, well, good luck to you.
Because we put our whole life savings into this as a sort of a measure of commitment. We gave up, Hamil gave up a really highly paid job. I gave up a highly paid sort of senior position in the university, and we are actually investing a lot of our own money.
Yep.
So it's actually about making it work.
Yeah, it's a
having
true
the vision.
startup journey.
Absolutely, and perseverance has to be absolutely key. We obviously have lots of ups and downs, but if you got to keep your eye on the big picture and the long term. It's not a sort of short-term gain. If we wanted to do that, we would have opened the corner store.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's a great vision. It's myed.com. MYED. We'll post that information on the podcast. I'm keeping these chaps from their beards. They're looking at me longingly now. Thank you very much for joining us and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, we are doing a batch of wonderful, brief kind of mini podcasts here for the Pitch 100, and I'm sitting here with a gentleman. Who would have known that the beautiful location of Petra in Jordan would have come up in discussion? But it seems that a distant relative of his had a fairly integral part in the architecture of Petra. He will explain a little more perhaps in a moment. But Simon Burkhart, the managing director of Vonage, I do apologise.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us about your role with the Pitch.
So we're the main sponsor of the pitch, and what we are trying to do in Vonage, we provide a cloud-based telephony solution. Sounds very boring, but what we really enable people to do, just like Xero do here in providing cloud solutions, is enable small businesses really to look big. So in the day, if you wanted to have an accounting system or a full-blown telephony system that lets you do stuff, you had to buy a lot of stuff. You had to get a lot of capex up there. And now with the cloud, you don't have to do that. And so you can look like you're a big company, having many offices and many extensions, with a kind of a sexy message at the front, and having a fixed phone that presents rather than a mobile, but actually be two men in two different houses, just working for yourselves. So the great deal is that you can actually look bigger than you really are, and that's basically what we're about. And that's why we think the crew here at the pitch are perfect for us to try and explain that story to and try and give some inspiration. And it sounds a bit altruistic, but I also just love that whole. It's great coming to these events. I'm an old bugger, and it's great to come to these events and just be inspired by lots of people pitching their new ideas.
Yeah, well, dare I say, I think we've both increased the average age here today.
Well, I was going to
Simon.
say exactly the same
you're
point.
very, very
Unfortunately,
kind. I'm allowed as the host.
Well, you look much younger than me.
I
know our listeners can't see you, but
I'm allowed as the host to say these things. Actually, funnily enough, I got a call the other day from we have a PR lady. We're so flash these days, but pitching an article from a national newspaper, wanting to get my views on how to make ourselves look bigger.
Right. All right. There we go.
So Vonage is clearly one of the instruments.
Well, the story I told at the beginning of this morning is absolutely true. I used to run my own business with a mate. We were arrogant enough to believe that we'd left BT and we had lots of ideas about how to retain customers with our central message, and we went out to other big telcos who needed to start retaining customers, and we thought we could tell them. In the early days, we wanted to go to a big trade event. It was terribly expensive. The tickets were expensive. The hotels were all booked out. The flights to this place that was in Cannes were impossible. So we actually blagged a couple of tickets off some mates. My partner managed to blag an invite to a party on a yacht, which is pretty damn good. I was very chuffed with that. We flew, instead of to Cannes, we flew to Genoa. And then we hired the smallest car, one of those little Ford cars. Two big guys in this Ford car. It was some comedy thing. We drove across the border from Italy to Cannes. And stayed in one of those, Formula tap things, which are basically a big wet room. We didn't share a room. That's the one thing we drew the line at. And so we did everything on the cheap. But when we got to the event, we pretended we were, we were in the clover and walked around in our suits and ate at expensive restaurants.
Yeah.
But the beauty of that story is the last night when we were eating at an expensive restaurant, massively overpaying in Cannes for a piece of fish, a guy came up who we vaguely knew and gave us our first contract.
Yeah.
So
Well,
definitely
do you know when
it's
you
that kind of swan image, isn't it? calm and serene on top, kicking like, you know.
Got it. I mean, when you told that story this morning, I made a little note actually. Spend low on how to get there. Spend big when you're there.
Absolutely.
But listen,
Absolutely.
Simon, thanks for. So you've had a great day. You're
Absolutely
involved, obviously.
fantastic.
There was one in Manchester. Were you up there as well?
We were up there, and
Yeah.
that was a great day too.
Yeah.
And then there's the final in Bristol. We're looking forward to that. I think this is it's a good initiative. It's really great, and it's good because some of the other sponsorships things we've done have been kind of much more high level. Perhaps you get better profile in the kind of national press, but this is really getting down and seeing people. It gets you quite inspired personally. So it's great.
Well, you've been a great host. I enjoyed the
Thank you very
presentation
much.
this morning. You'd have done well in the pitch, actually, if you'd had a go at that. But listen, for anybody, we're going to leave notes of all the people that we've been discussing, chatting with. We're going to leave notes of website addresses. But in case anybody's listening to this, it's vonage.co.uk. That's VONAGE. Simon, thank you for joining. Oh, we didn't have the Petra story. Quick story. So I asked Simon where his very exotic surname comes from, and the story was?
It's a Swiss-German name from Basel, and my great-great-great-great-great-uncle was an explorer, a Swiss gentleman, who dressed up as an Arab and apparently learned Arabic, looked very effective. We're not quite sure whether he actually converted to a Muslim, we don't know, he might have done, doesn't matter. But anyway, he then trooped around sort of Jordan, the Lebanon and everything. He actually discovered Abu Simbel too, the one that they moved out. But his biggest and most sort of notorious discovery was the rose-red city of Petra. So if nobody's been there, they should. It's the most dramatic place too, because
I've been there.
You approach through this what's called a seep, don't you? Which is like a sort of a gap in the cliffs, and you go around and you see little glimpses of it. It keeps appearing, and then eventually you see it. It's like a Hollywood movie, and it's no wonder they shot. If you remember the Indiana Jones, rode into it. And then behind it was the Lost Ark. Unfortunately, there is nothing behind the actual facade, but that's Hollywood.
Well, I've also got an Abu Simbel story, but that has to be told offline. But on that happy note, Simon, thanks very much.
No problem. Thank you. Great. Super.
So there we are. It is the calm after the storm before. The beers have been drunk. The people have drifted off back home. I think the pitch team are currently in a minibus somewhere on the M4, so a large hurrah to them for putting on a great event today, and also for all those people who joined me for my kind of mini podcasts. Vox Pop sessions. I think you got a flavour for my feelings about the day in there as well. Really some great companies and ideas, and a special shout, I think, to David Hellard at zipcube.com, who not only provided us with one of the most entertaining pitches, but then dashed hot-footed across London to pick up an award at the Mass Challenge event that was held this evening. So well done, David. He's also, I hope, confirmed he's going to come on for a proper podcast with us very shortly to discuss ZipCube and also his own podcast series that he runs. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling. It's been a great day, a slightly different type of podcast, but I hope you enjoyed it, and there'll be more tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the LawyerFair.co.uk daily podcast. If you'd like to listen to more, why not subscribe and download each episode via iTunes, or visit us on the LawyerFair.co.uk website.